originated in 2005 and it began with fair share money that had come into the authority and has been part of the forums facilitated by CVS.
Neath Port Talbot CVS talked to the local authority about being the leads in initiating action to develop a project that would meet the fair share criteria. We were asked to look at gaps in communities and come up with what would be services to be delivered to older and disabled people. So a partnership approach was put together between Dulwich Valley Partnerships, the local authority, Care and Repair, to provide services known as Helping Hands programme. That was a very practical service that made a real difference to people's day-to-day lives, doing the small things that caused angst to older people wanting to remain in the community, but being concerned perhaps that their garden was getting overgrown or that they couldn't repair or decorate small things around their house. We were aware that people were prepared to pay for some of these jobs, but they didn't know who to trust.
I'd heard about it a lot, but and I didn't really know if I could have anything. I think it was the girls in the office got in touch and said, oh yes, you can, you know, you named everything off that I could have. And I said, really? So anyway, we went from there. And I was amazed, really, because even putting a little nail in, my little fence came out from the wall. I tried to do it, but it was a big, long nail, and I couldn't do it.
One day, my daughter came home from Cambridge and she put a mower over the grass. I'll do it for you, she said, but we can't do it now, that's just it.
How was it impacting on your day-to-day life, the fact that you couldn't do it?
Couldn't do it, yes. Well, you used to say, didn't you, oh, if only I could get out there and do that, didn't you? Mm-hmm. And I was saying, you know, you did used to do it 30 years ago, but not now, sort of thing, see?
Do I sort of take it like with regards to the gardening?
Mm.
The problems were that it was becoming overgrown?
Yes, the hedges were growing up and
just getting untidy.
Untidy, it looked untidy and we didn't like it.
They cut the grass.
Yeah, and the hedges.
And the hedges.
And tidied up and took all the rubbish away with them. Marvellous, we thought. It takes the worry off you, doesn't it? Yeah. You feel alone. You feel like, well, I'll have to look in the yellow pages for someone. Yeah. And who can I trust? Who are they? Yeah. I mean, you don't know. No. You don't know. And you've got to be very careful.
What have we done that has made a difference to you?
Help me up the steps.
How did you manage before we did it?
Well, not so bad, I suppose, but you get older and it gets harder getting up the steps. But my rail is absolutely wonderful, pulling myself up.
Did the service provided by Care and Repair improve your quality of life?
Well, yes, it stopped me worrying.
Mm. Yes,
and that is, that's it, the worry. Who's coming? Yes. What are they doing? How much does it cost? When are they going? See?
How has the project made a lasting difference to local people's day-to-day lives?
One of the most positive things that we've had, and that's why our gardening service is still going, is that it actually tackled independent living for the elderly and disabled. And obviously their well-being as well. They felt safe in the home.
I think it's been very, very successful, both for the people that have benefited, because we had a team that were going around doing painting and decorating, and the young people that were involved realised there was such a demand out there, and a lot of these older people were unable to pay for labour, as we could supply the labour free, and they only had to pay for the materials. I think both parties gained, and a lot of our young people went on to gain employment through this project.
When the Workways project participants were working on the Helping Hands or maintenance service, they were low in self-confidence, low in self-esteem, and were trying to get back into the labour market. The difference that it made to these individuals was actually doing a job that was helping the lives of others. By working on the minor maintenance projects, by working on the gardening schemes, they were actually helping individuals to remain in their own homes. And what this made to them was they had a sense of pride in what job that they were actually doing as part of the provision.
Before finding care and repair. I was basically on income support where I was just going into the job centre every week and looking for other jobs without having qualifications to find work.
It was very difficult for me as I did not have the skills to undertake office work, so it made it very hard for me then to find employment. It was very frustrating and it gets you down when you don't have the opportunity to change things.
At my time in care and repair, I was fortunate enough to go on training for an MVQ in bricklaying. That's given me the confidence to go out and find new skills in the workplace, not just bricklaying, but many other aspects of building and minor maintenance.
Some of the participants that were working on the Helping Hands or maintenance service, at the end of their time there, were able to move into sustainable employment with other organisations. With the experience and training that they'd received whilst working on the Helping Hands project, they were able to prove to employers that they were capable of holding down a job and that the training that they'd received, they were now experienced in moving into other employment.
Well, it's made a big difference to me. I've now gained full-time employment from it. A number of courses have been attended to give me the extra skills and achievements needed, and I now have the skills to undertake any tasks given to me, also to apply for any other jobs under the admin sector if needed.
I managed to find full-time employment that's given me a lot of self-esteem to carry on to the job I'm in now, and I've presently been in my job for the last 5 years. And I think without care and repair and that confidence building, I might not even be in this place now.
The beneficiaries, the work-based placements, I think has been phenomenal. I've seen the people that we've had, and I know some that Neath Port Talbot had as well. There's been a fantastic change in their attitude, their outlook. You know, they're actually back in work. They're self-dependent. You know, that they've got that independence that they didn't feel they were going to get. Something that you can only get with an achievement of getting into work.
It's given me that self-confidence I've been lacking for a long time, and as I said, to finally have a wage, to go home and show my family that I was working and to give my young son a future meant a great deal to me.
What has the project done that has been successful in the community that we could share with others?
One of the real key elements for me was the partnership working. It's a true partnership approach to meeting the identified need within the communities. It wasn't just about one organisation working in a small geographic area. It was covering the whole of the county. It was targeting specific groups, and it was about those people putting things aside and making it work. And that, I think, for me, was one of the key elements right from the beginning.
Well, the project has provided a really good example of partnership working where different agencies came together to contribute what they did best. There was the care and repair scheme offering the practical services and some of the gardening. There was a small third sector organisation, Dillis Valley Partnership, providing the gardening scheme. And there was the skills and training unit providing the painting and decorating element of the project.
Well, the Skills and Training realised that this was an important project, the people of Neath Port Talbot. So we got involved from the very beginning to help the people of the borough. We train adults from 18 up to 60, where they get their benefit in £10. So we thought this was an ideal project for us to get involved into the community and to help our young people gain a lot of skills and knowledge.
We had a gardening project on the go at the time when I had a phone call to come to a meeting to look at a county-wide project that would deliver a gardening service as an element along with other services. So obviously it became a key partner in the development and delivery.
What have we learned from the project?
I think we've learned that projects like this need to be subsidised. Because of the low cost for the people who cannot afford this type of work, is that the subsidy is very important.
What have we learned? That there's obviously a very great need for this service. That it's not something that you can come and do as a project for 3 years, because the people that we're targeting become reliant on it, and it's crucial for them. But at the same time, it's making sure that it's a viable project as well. And I think that's always been a bit of a difficulty, is delivering a service that is initially subsidised, but then, you know, looking at becoming self-sustaining but taking into account the fact that, one, the financial climate we're in now, but also the disposable income that people has is getting less and less. So it is difficult. It has been difficult. And I think that's a lesson that I've learned from it, is to be able to change quickly with that.
People, I think, are prepared to pay an amount of money for a service, but it needs to be an affordable amount of money, and really it won't really cover the full cost of the service, but the hidden benefits of not costing more money in other services is perhaps not always realised and not always funded either.
I think what we
benefit really, but it does actually help people to remain at home for longer and therefore in a more sustainable way.